Best of r/ Tales from Tech Support episode 107. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Hi r/Tales from Tech Support. Hope you are all safe and working from home as much as possible. I have a short one today, happened just now. This one very difficult lady from a client calls. I recognize the number and pray to all ye gods that it's not her but another really nice and cool user. No such luck. And we begin. $me, yours truly, $toy, that one individual. $me, $it company, $me speaking, how can I help? $toy, hi $me, it's me from $client company, I have a problem with Ms. Teams, I have a meeting and I can't see my camera or see any microphone activity in Teams. Cue me, immediately knowing what the issue is without even connecting or letting her finish the sentence. How do I know? I'm glad you asked. As I was saying earlier, she is incredibly thick. An example is she keeps getting locked out in this software they use because she never remembers to log out and it times out and it ends her session, but the server app sometimes doesn't and keeps her logged in, meaning she can't start another session. We would get a daily call, right after lunch, every single day. For a whole 2 weeks, and each time, we quickly logged her out on the server and told her, again, the same thing as we did the first time, in a very as per my last email but more polite way. For all of you not familiar with this, especially here in the UK, it basically means you moron. Did you not read what I just replied? Before you go on lunch, log off. Nothing, in one ear, out the other. We eventually contacted her hod and informed them of this, that she just isn't listening to us. She stopped calling. But we still get an email about the issue every now and then. So that gives you an idea of the level of the user we're dealing with here. Now for the Teams issue. She's blessed with the ability to work remotely and we set up all the users with our remote management tool, giving them access only to their own work machines. This way they don't need company laptops, VPNs, etc. Real simple. Just use your own laptop/PC/Mac. You see where I'm getting at here? Yup. $me, yeah, $toy. Are you trying to use Teams on your work computer via your laptop with a remote connection? $toy, yes. Is that a problem? Shouldn't that work? I can do remote printing. Surely we can enable remote camera too. No? Hits mute button. Table head bang noises are heard in the house. $me, I'm afraid not, and even if it did, it would be very slow, laggy and unreliable. You can simply download the Microsoft Teams app on your laptop or mobile device and log in with your work account there, then there should be no issues. $toy, oh, okay, that's annoying. Well, thank you anyway, I'll do that now. Bye. $me, bye. Have a nice day. Please stop calling. But wait, there's more. This is the second user that tried this. The other was from a different company though. Happy Friday everyone. Hang in there and happy Orthodox Easter to all of you celebrating it this weekend, alone or with family. Edit. Okay, it was a medium length says the flare. Edit 2. Just to clarify it and avoid some repetitive comments. Yes, I am aware there are some tools and ways to do that. No, I didn't expect the user to really understand or know that. We're not here to intentionally make fun of users but to marvel sometimes at how the non-IT brain is wired. As for the tool we use, it's an advanced RMM tool. It's one of the big names, not TeamViewer or RDP. We use RDP and VPN for some clients, others just need emails and have data in SharePoint, so no need for anything other than an internet connection. For others, we provide this RMM tool, as it allows us to create groups and assign PCS and users to those groups. So people can only see their machine or the group of PCS in that specific department/office. It does support remote printing very well, file transfer OFC, but not camera/mic input/output. Final note. There was quite a comprehensive instructions manual we wrote up to all users, guiding them step by step to know where to go, what to do, enable too far, include some frequently asked questions, limitations, what you can and cannot do. Remote Teams meeting is not one of them. No, Teams or Zoom on your work PC can't see your webcam on your device. Hope that cleared up some questions. Thank you. Next, a quick disclaimer. I'm not tech support, nor is my husband. However, my husband is an engineer. As I'm sure you all have experienced, once family knows that you are tech literate, you now have to save them from themselves. This is one of those stories. Hopefully, while not very exciting, the pain of working with relatives and old people will be relatable. About a week ago, my mom called my husband because she was locked out of her Bezos account. He shows her how to remote in and helps her recover her information and password. Nice. Hubby had to remote into her Uglage, yay pig Latin, account, and somehow she didn't destroy everything. Well, after the wonderful experience of him remoting in and saving her Bezos account, my mom excitedly told my grandma, who did the exact same thing. She changed her password and forgot it. Now, my mom is not tech literate. It was a miracle that she was able to work with hubby long enough to get things fixed. I have no idea how he did it. If my mom is tech illiterate, my grandma is kindly hopeless. I've had to go to her house to show her how to log into Zuckerbook. I've had to show her what a USB is. And now my hubby has to remote into her laptop because of this COVID stuff. For the past hour, my husband has been helping her download Uglaga's browser and its corresponding remote desktop. H. Husband. G. Grandma. H. Can you open Uglaga's browser? G. Up. H. Do you have the Explorer or the Uglage? G. I see the Explorer. H. Okay, click that. G. Done. H. Now do you see the little bar up top? G. http://www. H. Yeah. Type in Uglage browser. G. Okay. H. Okay. Do you see the download? G. It says that if it doesn't open to hit something. H. Do you see the little bar at the bottom of your screen? G. Proceeds to read everything on the web page. H. Hit OK. G. It's not doing anything. H. Give it a second. Uglage finishes downloading, and hubby helps out setting it up. Now that she has Uglaga's browser, it's time to download the remote desktop. H. Do you see the download button? Referring to the remote desktop download. G. Up. No. H. Do you see the line setup remote access? G. Yeah. H. Do you see the download button? It's a down arrow with a line underneath. G. Yes. H. Click that. 30 seconds of silence. H. Did you click the button? G. No. H. Okay. Click the button with the down arrow. Silence. H. Do you see the down arrow with the line under it? G. No. Huband almost smashes his face into the keyboard. Then Uglaga's the remote desktop stuff again. He finds the App Store download. H. Do you see a button in the top right that tells you to add it to your browser? G. Yes. She finally gets it installed. Now, he is trying to get into her Yahoo account. Lord save him. Thank you. Next. Note, title is to state dumber, but autocorrect changed it to summer, FFS. And Reddit won't let me change the title, so it's too late to modify by the time I realized. So having been working at service desk for 3 months now, my first IT job after finishing high school, we are a contracted external IT team to help lower the load of the small internal IT team. Usually I've been sighing at users, but at the end of the day I empathize as they're trained in a completely different field. For example, it's fair enough that a user who specializes in caring for children may not know what a VPN is and therefore needs advice in logging in, especially when their company haven't released documentation for all their staff in terms of how to work from home. However, I do still get annoyed when I ask them how are you connecting to the internet, via Wi-Fi or Ethernet cable, and their response is, oh, let me connect to the internet and I'll tell you. However, I'm starting to think my IT colleagues, who are trained for this kind of job and have had many more months of experience than me in this, are somehow dumber than the users and don't seem to learn. For example, a user has requested that we change the accessibility times to a certain Wi-Fi domain, so that children can connect only between X and Y. They have provided us the site location, manager approval, the Wi-Fi domain name and the requested time. Easy enough job. Just go to the settings and modify the accessibility restriction. Therefore this applies to the whole domain, and any device that tries to connect will be unable to during the restricted time. This is a regular type of request and we even got a KBA for this. Then why is my colleague adamant to keep asking for a list of MAC addresses for all devices located at the site to manually restrict each present device? The user even responds that this isn't in regards to specific devices, but instead for a Wi-Fi domain, and therefore we don't need the MAC addresses, which she is correct about. And what does my other colleague do? Repeat the MAC address request. Another example, a head of finance for that company, the head of the entire department, asks to have 2 users, who are below him, added to a security group so that they can access certain things. Pretty sure the head, the highest line of authority in that department who is also the head of all security groups for that department, is high enough to request for 2 users below him to be added to a requested security group. He even specified that these are AD security groups, and provided the security group name. It's literally find the user on AD, security membership tab, add security group, copy and paste, and apply. Done. So what does my colleague respond with? Hey, can you provide us the shared drive location and manager approval please? Thank you. Next. Hi all, long time lurker, first time poster here. Let me share with you the wholesome story of the first call I got today. I'll start it off with the confession that I have overslept and started my day a little bit later than I was supposed to. At the time of this call, I was sipping my first cup of tea, struggling to keep my eyes open, my hair a bird's nest of chaos. In this story you have me, first level help desk agent, currently working from home, definitely not wearing pajamas. User, one of the regional VPs of the company we support, a VIP customer whose tickets are high priority by default. Here we go. The phone rings. Me, IT service desk, Pokemon Macaroni speaking. How can I help you? User, good morning Pokemon Macaroni, this is regional VP. I have a pretty simple issue for you, just to give your day a good start. At this point I feel slightly nervous, because simple issue is usually code for 3-hour phone call. User, you see, I don't know what happened, and I'm sure it will turn out to be something super obvious, but I cannot see my folders in Outlook anymore. They have disappeared and I don't know how to make them come back. I'm sure it's a simple setting, but I'm not the best when it comes to tech. Could you take a look at it? Me, of course, let me just connect to your PC. Starting up remote control tool. User, thanks a lot. Here, you see, all my folders are gone. Me, okay. I think I know what the problem is. Let me just click this little arrow here. You see, what happened was, he somehow clicked the small arrow that completely collapses the folder pane and hides it from the left where he would normally see all his Outlook folders. User, oh my god. This was even simpler than I thought. I am really sorry about that. I'm so embarrassed right now. I'm glad you can't see me, because my face is completely red. So sorry to have bothered you with this and thank you so much. Me, laughing politely, no problem at all, this is what I'm here for. Have a nice day ahead. User, you too, and thanks again. Now, let me tell you, I love calls like this. Not only because I was able to solve very important customer's issue with one click of the mouse, but because he was friendly and polite the whole time. Despite feeling embarrassed that he could not figure out this simple thing by himself, this did not turn into anger or dismissal. He was able to have a good laugh at the situation and at himself. And he seemed to be genuinely thankful to me for helping him out. I read so many stories here about angry, self-important people mistreating IT staff out of frustration at their own incompetence. It's just very nice to have the opposite happen to you, especially on a day that did not quite have the perfect start. Thank you. Next. So I got contacted by a QA person regarding some problem with test accounts they were using. It seems some tests weren't working properly. These accounts had been created over a decade ago in a big QA effort to clean up the test scripts for our application, by having pre-configured accounts you could use, knowing they were set up properly. So if you log into $test account 1, you know it is in Division A, Department 7, and the user is an author, whereas $test account 2, it is in Division B, Department 66, but still an author. You get the idea. Now, it turns out, unknown to me, that the day before, the QA person had talked to the account manager, and gotten all the test accounts put into Division C, but with access to Division A. This would break the tests, since the whole point was to verify that no access between Division A's data and Division B's data was happening. But wait, there's more. It turned out that 5 or so years ago, Divisions A and B merged, Division A no longer exists, and Division B was renamed, but Department 7 and Department 66 are both part of Division B, so the test still should have broken. Anyway, it seems that when there were organization changes, QA wasn't reviewing the accounts to see if any would be affected. Oops, there's your problem. But wait, there's still more. I was able to untangle everything, find out what tests were supposed to run, understand the issue, and configure the tests properly with a new Division D using Department 101 to replace the old Division A/Department 7 settings on some of the accounts. This should make the accounts do what they should when it came to testing. I suggested that the account manager fix the accounts, and that I was done for the moment, though I did write an email suggesting a standard part of organization changes should be a QA review of affected accounts and test scripts. But wait, there's still more yet. So I got contact by QA again, saying that the accounts aren't working. Turns out the account manager's home computing situation broke, and they couldn't VPN in, so I got to fix the accounts. This took some doing, as I haven't had to do it for a while, but I accomplished the mission. I told QA the accounts were there, and to try their test again. But wait, there's even still more yet. Heard from QA that the test failed in a weird way. $test account 3 and $test account 4 were set up the same way, but had differing levels of access. They could both see a record, but one could change it and the other couldn't. The differences in the accounts were irrelevant to the conditions allowing a change. So I dug back into things, and even got down to the database level to see what the system reported as a given user's access to a given record. They had the same access to the record in question. So I asked QA to check. Is it that one test account gets an error and the other doesn't? Does one see the change command and the other doesn't? What exactly is the problem? So QA tried it again, and they have the same access. Turns out the record was created yesterday, before I was asked to change the test accounts, and the original test determining that $test account 3 was able to change the record was done at the time. I suggested that the verification of a test has to 1. Be done after all the accounts were configured properly, and 2. Have all the test steps done at least on the same day. Thank you. Next. This story is slightly unusual in that the person I was attempting to help was by no measure unfamiliar with technology. In fact, in the case of the particular system under discussion, he was far more familiar than I was, even if I had more experience with computer systems in general. This story pertains to an embedded system which runs a custom Linux distribution as its operating system. It requires periodical updates, which involve downloading some software from the manufacturer website and copying it to a USB stick. You plug this USB stick into the system and an option appears in the menu to perform the upgrade. From here, the upgrade is a fully automatic process. The person I was assisting duly downloaded and copied the relevant files, only to find that the option to upgrade from the USB stick did not appear in the menu. I search through all of the menus. Can't find that option. I try rebooting the system. Still can't find that option. I try rebooting the system with the USB stick in a different port. Nothing. We try all of the USB ports. Nothing. I finally look up the installation instructions. Step 1 is to download the software zip file. Step 2 is to unzip it and place the contents of the zip onto the USB stick. I will reiterate, everyone involved was very familiar with the concept of zip files, and with this type of situation in general. Suspicion dawns. I ask, did you read the installation instructions for this software? No, me neither. I remove the USB stick and plug it into a Windows machine. Sure enough, on the USB stick is a single, lone zip file. Right-click. Extract. Eject from Windows machine. Plug into system we are trying to upgrade. Bingo. The option appears. That's right. Both of us were overconfident, to the extent that we didn't even check that we had followed the instructions correctly. We just assumed we had. Moral of the story, never assume that you are above the level of reading instructions. Thank you. Next. Notice, I do remote tech support. Someone suggested I start posting my stories here. I tell the Discord server I share with everyday. Problem, I am attempting to start the remote desktop with the CX. CX cannot figure out what a web browser is. Action, we are going to use the Windows built-in help page instead of a web browser. Lot of CX find this process easier when they don't know what a web browser is. Result, me. Okay, do you see the Windows key on your keyboard on the lower left, with the 4 boxes? CX, yes, me. Okay, we are going to press the Windows key, hold it down, then press the R key, then take our fingers off the keys. CX, it's too dark in here to see the R key, should I turn on a light? Conclusion, me. Fasapum.